This is Terry. This is Terry's Shoe Store, where she specializes in custom shoes and shoe repair. This is Terry's Workshop, where all the magic happens. You know what they say, all work and no play. When she's not hard at work, this is where you'll find her. And this is Terry's YouTube channel.
Aloha from Hawaii again. This is Terry Edmonds coming to you from my little shop in Wailuku, Maui, called If the Shoe Fits. I do a lot of specialty wedding shoes here. This happens to be a mother of the bride that I'm going to be dyeing her shoes today. They came in white. I carry the brand Touch-Ups, and they also sell this brand called Dyables. It's from the same company. Great quality. The client picked out this shoe here. It has a lovely wide shoe base and it's super comfortable, and a nice low heel so she can feel comfortable being at the wedding all day long, greeting guests, talking to people. You know how that goes. And the mother of the bride, she also picked out this really sweet little handbag, you know, enough to carry your cell phone, maybe your glasses. This one does come with a chain. Some of them have options. You can either do a gold or a silver chain. This one happens to be the gold chain, but I'm going to keep it in the bag for now because I'll be dyeing it. Both of these are a satin product. Both of these items come with sample swatches, which is really important because when you dye, we're going to make our test swatches on the same, on this material, and let it dry for a couple of hours, especially because I am doing this beige color. This happens to be the client's jacket, so it's the actual color. And it's a little hard to tell in this light, but take my word for it. It's a taupe beige mud color. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's beige colors and ivories are some of the most challenging colors. So when I had my consultation with the client, I wanted to ask some specific questions. What time of day is the wedding? Is afternoon sun changes the color compared to morning sun? Is it indoors or is it outdoors? Fluorescent lighting changes when as well as being outdoors. So it's a 3 o'clock in the afternoon wedding, and it's outdoors. So I selected the color that I liked, and I used this, my little color chart that's from the company. They have sponsored me, which is quite lovely. And, I took some time to look, and I went under different lighting, and I'm telling you, they change ridiculously. So the original color I picked was a nice taupe color, but as soon as I took it outside, it turned pink, like a pinkish orange. So I'm really going to go with the warm colors. I'm going to show you this chart here. See, one of the colors I liked was kind of in this realm, but they're using a bit more orange as the undertone here versus a yellowish undertone in this section. And the color I picked was this kind of it's a taupe. I'm not even going to try and show you in the camera. But I tried it outside. It looks pretty good. I'm going to do some test swatches here. But this color is going to take 5 different items in the formula. So what I'll do is I picked this number, which was, let's say, A30. That's what they title it. And under that, it gives me its ingredients. So I get asked a lot to show the mixing of the colors. And I don't usually because it takes so long. It's hours after hours because you have to do the first color, let it really dry so I can see what the true color is, test it outside with the garment, and usually have to add a couple more drops of this, a couple more drops of that. So it's not a true science. Luckily, my sponsor has done a color chart that's pretty good. I usually kind of fudge a couple little colors. But getting to the recipe, this is what we're going to be using today to make this color. And this little shot glass, which is really nice, has a couple of markers on it. Letter B, letter A, and to the top. Okay? So when this recipe will ask me to put 14, color 14 here into up to the letter B. Then it's telling me to add a little bit of this dye extender, which is just a real light, it actually just lightens things. It's a clear. And that's going to go to the letter A. So almost halfway is going to be this lighter, just a lightening solution. Then we're going to take the color 15 and we're going to take that up to the top. That's what it's telling me, so put it up to that top line. Then it calls for drop four drops of number 12. That's pretty funny. So I'm going to put 4 drops of number 12 in there, and then I'm going to do 16 drops of number 6. So I have all the colors here ready to go, and I'm going to do this exactly as they tell me because their color's pretty dead on, and then we'll just futz with it at the end. And I think that's it, easy enough. The tools I'm going to use are always the same. I have a little dauber. I have my swatch, right, of the same fabric. And gloves. Dye covers will color your hands. So, and then I also use a cup. I have a bunch of, for you, those of you that like to dye a lot, I use extra old coffee mugs and things because not only, usually this shot glass is enough to do a pair of shoes. However, this bag is going to take a lot of dye. From experience, I just know. So I actually have to, I'm going to do 3 times what it's calling for in the recipe. And I'm going to do the recipe exactly the same each time. So I know that we've nailed it. The last thing you want to do, especially in a very particular color like this, is to run out. And bags soak up a ton of color. So yeah, so just go for it. Maybe you will have leftover. So I just demonstrated in the video that you saw there that I mixed 3 separate recipes, right? And that's something that was important because I actually tried to cheat. And I thought, well, okay, if I have to put number 14 to letter B, I'll just do that 3 times. Well, that's okay for the first one. But the fact that it builds up layer upon layer like a cake, the math didn't actually work out. So I tried these shortcuts and they just don't seem to set right for me anyway. So I went back and did each one. Recipe, into the glass, recipe, into the glass, and the 3rd time. And then I'm sure to mix it really, really well to get all that color mixed up. And then I went ahead and did a little test. I put that is wet dye right now. And it looks like it's a pretty good color actually. It's kind of a muddy color, and I think it's actually going to dry, if we're lucky, perfect. If not, I'll add a couple little dashes of things. I'll see what color it's leaning towards, but I won't know until it dries. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and see how it turns out. If it works out great, then we'll just dye this shoe. If not, I'll mix another couple colors and show you what I did. Okay, I'm back from the dye, and I let it dry for, an hour or so, and it's completely dry. And I'd like to add more drama to this episode, but I really can't because it came out perfect. Woo! I don't have to mix any new color. I went outside and tried it. You can't really see from this shot here, but I went ahead and did a bigger swatch just to make sure, and boy, it sure was right on the money. Just turned out, it's kind of hard in this light, sorry about that. But that is the color there. And I like I said, I did the bigger swatch just to make sure. Sometimes if you don't spread it out. So there we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and dye it. Okay, so here we are, finished. It did take a little while, but I'm really glad the dye worked out so easy. I mean, lucky. Doesn't usually go like that, but I'm so glad it did. And the customer actually has already seen them and loves the two items. This is the handbag here, and again with the gold detailing, which is really fun. And then the matching sandals. And this is the jacket, and it just looks stunning. And of course it matches the shoes because I did it all from the same batch of dye. And I had just a little bit left over. There wasn't much. So like I said, you don't hesitate to make more than you need. You can always store any of the extras. This one there wasn't enough left, so I went ahead and let it go. But the client's already seen it, the client loved it, and being the mother of the bride, it's very important to her to feel good, and now she'll have matching items. And there you have it. So I do get people who ask if they can send in their shoes to me to have them dyed. I don't mind at all. It's super fun. Just give me a swatch. The swatch is really important. If you don't actually have a piece of the fabric, go to a paint store and find a paint chip that looks similar. And there you go. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a lot of fun putting these together, and let me know if you have any questions. And thanks again. Aloha.